I'm Richie Harty. I live here in New Hampshire, down in Northampton. I've worked at the Seacoast Science Center for about 18 summers as the assistant camp director. And during the year, I teach high school social studies down in Massachusetts.
What made you want to start being a marine mammal rescue volunteer?
I was coming up to work one morning and was driving by the marsh in Hampton, and there was a seal out there. And so I stopped to take pictures and take a look, and there was a rescue volunteer that was out there. So I started talking to her, and I knew nothing about, the laws or any of it. I'd always seen seals on the Seacoast or out surfing and stuff, and she educated me on what they do. And I was interested, and I came in here and ended up talking to Ashley about it, and just, it seemed like a perfect thing to do.
What was your favorite response that you've been out to?
There's a lot, but I guess two summers ago, I kept getting a call from Ashley in the morning to check on a seal at North Beach at the wall, and this seal kept eluding me. I'd go and it would be gone, and then I'd be driving up to work in the morning and she'd call, "Oh, did you see? It's back." And I'm like, "Well, I gotta get to work." And they ended up tagging the seal, and I begged her to call it Wally because it kept showing up at the wall. But I was running the stewards program here during the week, which is a middle school program that we run, outdoor education. So they went down and gathered it and brought it up, and they were going to release it here. So she called me and said, "Hey, you have your stewards there." So I had a group of middle school kids, and we were out in the park, and she let us come and watch them. And then for the rest of the day, my stewards walked around and educated people about Marine Mammal Rescue. The toughest would be just crowd control sometimes, and I know once I went down to the beach, and there were two women that were screaming at each other. And I show up to help with the seal, and one was adamant that you had to chase it into the ocean, and the other was adamant that we had to stay away from it, and they wanted to call the cops on each other. And my daughters were with me, and I just told both women that we're here to help the seal, and you both want to help, but like I can educate you on how you can help me. And then they both did. I sent one this way and I sent the other one that way, and we tried to educate the people as they were walking, because it was a busy summer day. You never know what you're going to show up to. You never know how the people are going to react to you. You're a volunteer. You don't really have any authority besides what you're trying to help do, and relaying that. It's like, I'm not here to dispute fights. Like, I'm here to help the seal, and I'm here to help people understand what's going on,
Sometimes you'll get folks who are like, they mean well, but they are harming the animals, right? Yeah. Like just by being too close.
Yeah.
Do you get a lot of that? Because you respond by Hampton, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So a good amount of times it's that, that they think it needs water, or they think that you need to chase it back into the ocean, and what they're doing is really stressing it out. And I try to emphasize that that especially the weanlings and pups can die from stress.
Which marine mammal species is your favorite?
It's tough. I would guess I'd say the harbor seal, just because they're awesome, and I know, like, as a surfer, you see them out in the water, and it's really neat to see them. But my go-to is always a humpback whale. I've always been being a New Englander, and humpbacks just seemed, we see them all the time. We take whale watches every year, but it'd be a toss-up between the two. I think it was a gray seal, Ashley said. I thought it might have been an elephant seal, because it was like freaking enormous.
Yeah.
But just, and it was all sloughed, and it was like wrapped in a rock, and there was no way I could even get it off the rocks. And the kids didn't come. And then people were like, "What are you doing?" And the tide's coming up, and I'm like, "Oh man," I'm trying to get measurements, and the wind's blowing.